Ah, I see. This is gonna be one of those games. Hey, I got it.
Here a fine for your bad Caesar joke.
What? I didn't even explain the joke yet. I was going to use a clip of The Simpsons.
Here your copyright fine for using The Simpson.
Are you out of your mind?
Here your fine for toxic behavior. Think about the children, you monster.
That's it. I'm about to shove those fines up your ass. Well, that took care of them. Oh, hello there. Today we have a double review since the two games are made by the same developer and the same genre. Pinball Arcade. Alright, I know a lot of the youngest may not know what a pinball is, so let me explain. For some of you, pinball is an arcade machine where you put a coin and you play it. You get 3 balls, score a lot of points, and avoid the ball to fall off. That's what a pinball game is. Sure, there's a bit more stuff like objective, multi-ball, and all that. But you just need to know the basic. Now, as I explain it, pinball in video game is quite interesting. If you grew up in the 2000s and have a Windows XP, you remember it had a pinball game included in all computers, which I bet all of you at least played once. Man, good time. When the Windows at least had a good selection of games installed. Now I'm not even sure they put free games in their new system anymore. There are two types of pinball categories. One that looks more like real life pinball machine you will play, or licensed pinball brands with a sim style of physics, or the more arcade style with over the top design. I like to talk about other pinball games at a later time. So what are Xenotilt and Demotilt in the categories? They are in the arcade style, but cranked to 11 with unusual pinball design. So let's crank these two games already then. If you liked the video, please subscribe and like and leave a comment. Thank you. Demon Tilt, the first pinball release. There are 3 game mods. The normal game mods with the usual pinball rule, recommend for all players. There's also hardcore mode. You only have 1 ball and the flippers are shorter, make it easier to lose the ball. So be careful. And there's also an EX mod that adds extra rules that the game doesn't tell you, and new bonus tables that are exclusive to this mod. It's pretty much the completed version of Demon Tilt. The table of Demon Tilt, same as Xenotilt, it's very over the top. This is quite a long one. Both have 3 levels. A bottom level, which is the closest of a normal pinball. The middle level, very short and tight. And the upper level, more open, but the flippers are shorter, easier to lose the ball back to the previous level. The theme for Demon Tilt is a horror dark fantasy, as your goal is to defeat the demons and the Chimera with the help of the Nun. That's the lady in the middle of the table. If you land in there, it's awakening her, and the power sets your ball right into the upper level. In the upper level, the Chimera is shielded up. After a certain hit, the defense is dropped and you can hit the lion's head to defeat it. Also, there's the machine on the right. It's where you can put the ball. Once you put 3, it's activated multiple. And this is where the pinball madness begins. Managing to track 3 balls is very hard. Since it goes to the different levels, it's very hard to keep a track of it. You got to flip randomly all the time to make sure to keep the ball not falling down, while you keep scoring in-game chain combo. The chain combo is a mechanic for both Xeno and Demon Tilt. The more you hit something, the higher it keeps on going. But if you don't hit something, the chain is broken. You get a rank and a point bonus like a Devil May Cry. I gotta say, with this mechanic, the dev could do a Devil May Cry pinball style. I will actually buy it, but I doubt Capcom will allow it. Oh well, Demon Tilt is the closest to a DMC pinball, I guess. Also, both games recommend using nudge. In a normal pinball, nudging the table makes the ball change its trajectory for a more favorable position. But the machine has a sensor that if you nudge the table too much, it activates a tilt, shutting down the table so you lose the ball for this round. In both Demon and Xeno, nudge is a far more forgiving. You have a sensor in the bottom right, and when you use it, you can see it move, and the red starts to fill up. It's impossible to make a tilt on the keyboard, trust me, I try. But in a controller, you can, but it takes far too long to do it. Yet, when you nudge the ball, it follows the direction where you nudge. For me, it's messed me up, cause normally when you nudge on the left, the ball goes on the opposite direction when I play Pinball Arcade. With time, I can adjust this version of nudging, but it's really a handy tool to avoid losing the ball. So don't be afraid to use it, even though I don't use it often. I will say that Demon Tilt is my least favorite of the two, due to the table design and some aspects. My biggest issue is the middle boards. This is one of the level you're going to spend most of the time, and it's quite frustrating. To activate the objective, you have to hit the ramp on the right, but if you miss it and hit something else, it spawns worms in the middle of the table, making your life miserable, cause it deflects your balls when hit, making it hard to aim when you want to send the ball. But not only that, but aiming in Demon Tilt it's also one of the most painful to do it. I play a lot of pinball, and I never struggle a lot to aim like in Demon Tilt. It just makes the experience very frustrating at the time, and having a worm if you mess up your aim doesn't make you experience a fun one. While the upper level, the gap is more wide open and require you use the nudge, or else you can use it to not stay longer on the upper level, which is annoying to aim, especially when you want to put the multiple location. I only did manage to do once, and it was on my first playthrough of the game. Ever since I could never manage to do it. I'm not done yet, especially with the teleportation. Gosh, I hate that. It can send your ball to the upper level or the lower level. And if it goes to the down level, you score multiplayer, which is good, but you have to send it back to the upper level. Not only that, but you are at risk of losing the ball too. That's why I hate that it can screw you over big time if you lose the ball. I just don't like it overall. Not much of fun. It's still difficult, even if you play on normal rules. Too interesting mechanic is the people centering a bullet hell. Yes, the enemies on both the bottom and upper level can shoot projectile at you. Don't worry, it's already deflect your bolts. It's handy to keep your chain up and running. Last, both have different boss. Both have different boss you have to deal with. I already mentioned the Chimera on the upper level, but the same goes for the bottom. You have to deal with the Hermit. After that, it changed to an army of undead, and lastly a demon. Once you defeat it, it went back to the hermit, but now harder than the previous set. It's a fun game to play with friends, or just a time waster. Now, let's see what Xenotilt have it. Does he improve it, or does he have the same issue as Demon Tilt? Okay, for starter, I won't dwell too much, cause most of the mechanics of Xenotilt are still the same compared to Demon Tilt. But I do mention a few key differences. For starter, this time is a sci-fi team. You have to defeat a rogue AI called Hera. Yet, I feel most of the time she say Emma. This time, you don't have an ally. You are all alone, meaning the middle board is now a boss too, that has 3 phases like the others. There is a new difficulty added exclusive with Xenotilt. It is a time attack, where you want to get more time and keep the game going. And the score is about how long you keep it before the time runs out. This is actually my favorite, as it actually improved a lot of the board design compared to Demon Tilt. It's far less confusing. You actually fail, you can send the ball where you want to send it. So I did not have the need to zoom out like a Demon Tilt. Not only that, but the upper level is far more easy to manage, and you don't have to nudge just to keep the ball if you like me who don't use the nudge a lot. Oh, and these annoying creatures? This time there's a way to take care of it. If you hold it and nudge down, it activates the weapons. All the levels have it, and it's automatically target all the small creatures. Thank God! It makes less annoyance to deal with, and easier to clean up the board and aim where you want, but of course you need to load with ammo, and there's also a special ammo, but you can only have 3 of that. Once you defeat a boss on both the middle and lower level, it releases a core. You can use your weapons or the special weapon to score an overkill bonus. But wait, there's more! The multi-ball locks. It's better this time, and with an interesting mechanic. Once you lock the ball, there's 3 tiers, representing all the levels. But all the 9 holes have a special ability that is activated. Sadly, to know what all the abilities are, you need to pause the game and check on the left. It does ruin the pacing of the game every time you have to check what ability you can unlock. Besides that downside, it generally had some strategy. Do you want to play a short strategy and get all in one tier so you can unlock multi-ball faster? Or play the long game and unlock all the tiers abilities? I like what Xenotilt do. It makes the player think what's the best strategy. Last point I have to make, the game achievement does give you a reward. There are a couple of sets you need to get the achievement to unlock a new bonus, like a new music, background, and other in the option. But the achievements also unlock a new icon for the nudge bar. Now you can have a cute mouse instead of a skull. I had fun of playing on the special rule set. Thank God! They explain what the new rules are in this version. And the bonus table, I realized something when I play it. It reminded me of Pokemon Pinball to some level. Sure, it's not over the top like the 2 games, but it did click with me. Despite I enjoy both games, if I have to recommend it between the 2, I highly recommend Xenotilt over Demon Tilt. It's pretty much how I'm going to rank 10 in my research of the best pinball games. Before I sign out, I want to challenge you, my dear viewer, yes, you watching the video. If you plan to play any of the Tilt game, I want to challenge and see if you can beat my score on all the settings. Here's my scores on both tables and see if you can manage to beat it. It may sound intimidating, but I believe it can be beat with patience and practice. With that challenge proposed, it is time to sign out. This is Dark Voltage signing out.